Welcome back to We Rockin' Math with Miss Catherine. For those of you who are new, welcome to this channel. On this channel, we have math videos that will help you solve math problems a bit more easy and faster. So please consider subscribing to this channel for more math content. There will be a link to the subscription channel down below. Make sure to check it out. Today's lesson is going to be on subtracting fractions with like denominators. We have 3 steps that we want to follow. The first step is check for like denominators. The second step is subtract numerators, keep denominators the same. And the third and final step is to simplify. Let's look at our first example. We have 8/10 minus 2/10. First, we check for like denominators. We have 10 in the first fraction and 10 in the second fraction. So we are good there. Next, we want to subtract the numerators. It would be 8 minus 2, which would give you 6. And then the denominator, you're going to keep the same. So we're just going to copy the 10 down. Now we have 6/10. Now we want to simplify. And when we simplify, we're essentially finding the greatest common factor. Basically, a number that will go into 6 and 10, or whichever 2 numbers you have in the numerator and the denominator, that won't give you a remainder. So that means the number goes into the numerator and the denominator evenly. In order to do that, we can make a list over here. So we're going to write 6, and we're going to write 10. And we can just write the factors. So factors of 6. A factor is a number that is multiplied by another number to get the product or the result. Meaning, factors of 6 would be a number multiplied another number. For example, 1 and 6. It's basically a pair of numbers that will get you this result, because 1 times 6 equals 6. Now we have one more pair, another pair of numbers, which would be 2 and 3, because 2 times 3 equals 6. Now we look at 10. Well, we have 1 and 10, and then we have 2 and 5, because 2 times 5 equals 10. These are our factors, and to find the greatest common factor, we would just find the factor or the number that goes into both numbers. That is the greatest. So notice we have 1 and 2 in common. And from 3 and 5, 6 and 10, none of these numbers are in common. So that means our greatest common factor is 2. Once we've found the greatest common factor, we can divide the numerator and the denominator by 2, because the greatest common factor is 2. So divide the top by 2, and the bottom, the denominator, by 2. And we get 3/5. Let's look at our second example. We have 10/20 minus 5/20. First, check for the denominators and see if they're the same. They are over here. First fraction is 20, second fraction also 20. Next, we subtract the numerators. 10 minus 5 equals 5. Keep the denominator the same. Copy down a 20. Next, we want to find the factor that goes both into 5 and 20, which would be 5. That's the greatest common factor that can go both into 5 and 20. So 5 divided by 5 equals 1. 20 divided by 5 equals 4. And this is our final answer because we can't simplify this any further. You know that it can't be simplified any further because 1 is going to be the only number that you can divide both numbers into. So for example, we can only divide the top by 1 and the bottom by 1. We could divide the denominator 4 by 2. We could do 4 divided by 2, but we can't divide 1 by 2. It would give us a remainder, which we don't want. We want a number that can be divided that won't give us a remainder. So that means that 1/4 is a final answer. That is our final answer. Let's look at number 3. We have 15/16 minus 9/16. Check for denominators and see if they're the same. They are 16 in the first fraction, 16 in the second fraction. Then we subtract our numerators. 15 minus 9 equals 6. Keep the denominator the same. We have 16. Find the greatest common factor. It would be 2. If you're not sure, you can always make a list. So 6 and 16. It would be 1 and 6. 2 and 3. Those are the factors of 6. For 16, we have 1 and 16. 2 and 8. So you see, greatest common factor, the number that's in common that is also the greatest is 2. So as you see here, we divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. And we can see if we can simplify it any further, which we can't. Thus, 8 can be divided by 2. But 2 does not go into 3. So that means 3/8 is our final answer. Now let's look at the final example. 12/15 minus 4/15. Check to see if the denominators are the same. They are. 15 both on the bottom as a denominator for both fractions. Next, we subtract the numerators. 12 minus 4 equals 8. Keep the denominator the same. Copy down the 15. Check and see if you can simplify it any further. Well, the only common factor they have in common, 8 and 15 have in common, is a 1. So that means we are finished. Because if you have 1 as the only factor for the numerator and the denominator, that means you can't simplify it any further. So that is our final answer, 8/15. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you thought this video on subtracting fractions with like denominators was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below what other topics you'd like to see. And if you do subscribe, leave a comment below saying I subscribed. I will try to personally reply to your comment. Until then, keep rocking at math, and see you next time. Thanks, everyone.